Thank you to Bill for just playing and playing until I was ready. I love it. Sharing our joy together, bearing our grief together. The web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone. I'll sing one. Sharing our joy together, sharing our joy together, bearing our grief together, bearing our grief together. The web of life holds us in this truth. The web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone. We are not alone. Bill, would you help me out and put me an F, please? I thought that felt high. Sharing our joy. Ready? All together? Sharing our joy together. Bearing our grief. Bearing our grief together. The web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone. Sharing our joy together. Bearing our grief. Bearing our grief together. The web of life. The web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone. So that is one of our new hymns from the new hymnal. We'll do that today, as well as one we did last week. But this week we're doing it in a round at one point. So remember that, choir. Yeah. I have one more. This is a song I heard this week, and it reminded me of today. So, I've got a circle around me of people to love. I've got a circle around me of care. I've got a circle around me of people to love, so I can stand up in the face of fear. I've got a circle around me of people to love. I've got a circle around me of care. I've got a circle around me of people to love, so I can stand up in the face of fear. I've got a circle around me of people to love. I've got a circle around me of care. I've got a circle around me of people to love, so I can stand up in the face of fear. Act like you mean it. I've got a circle around me of people to love. I've got a circle around me of care. I've got a circle around me of people to love, so I can stand up in the face of fear. One more time. I've got a circle around me of people to love. I've got a circle around me of care. I've got a circle around me of people to love, so I can stand up in the face of fear. So I can stand up in the face of fear. So I can stand up in the face of fear.
Good morning, Lincoln. My name is Reverend A.J. Galazin. I'm your interim minister. My pronouns are he and his. And I'm so glad you could join us this morning. Our opening words are from Reverend Dr. David Breeden. Come into this moment as if stepping into a garden at dawn, quiet, tender, open to what may grow. Let compassion be the flower we bend toward. We return as if returning to the soil, hands in the dirt, willing to tend what needs tending. Here today we gather to remember that the most delicate blooms require daily care. That attention is the water of love. That we are still learning how to care. Come, let us begin again in love, tending the garden of the heart and the heart of compassion. Let us rise now in body or spirit for our opening hymn.
Sharing our joy together, bearing our grief together, the web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone, striving for change together. Healing our pain together, the web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone, journeying on together, learning to love more together. The web of life holds us in this truth. We are not alone.
Hi, I'm Abby Lemberg McDowell. She, her. I am the youth ministry coordinator, and I'm doing the chalice lighting. We light this chalice, our symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We are a church of open minds. We are a church of loving hearts. We are a church of helping hands. Together we work for justice. We work for justice and peace in our world. Thank you.
It actually makes us feel better if you don't necessarily have it all, Abby, because then we are okay not having it all as well, right? So, today we're talking about comfort and affliction. And comfort typically makes us go, ah. So let's just get ready. Ah. While affliction oftentimes can make us go, ooh. Ew. Right. So today we are doing a typical Time for All Ages, right? There's a village and there's a stranger. Huh? So, I mean, how many of our Time for All Ages stories would we have if we didn't have a village and strangers? But here we are. So today's village is Cordshire, let's call it, Cordshire. And Cordshire loved consonants. That's the musical term for comfort. So music has two words. Consonants would be the comfort word. And so can you all go, ah. For consonants. So every morning those villagers would come out and they would make consonants together. You're welcome to join with. You're welcome to be villagers. That's good. Oh, it was so nice. Every day the same thing. Lovely. Until one day, a stranger came to town. The stranger stopped and listened to the beautiful consonants in Cordshire. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So the next morning, the stranger was so excited to get involved. There we go. So they began as they usually did. Ew. So now we had the musical term for affliction, which is dissonance. Dissonance. That's when the science doesn't add up. There's some clash. Those waveforms are banging against each other. So the villagers thought, well, maybe if I play louder and stronger, it will sound great. So here they went. Still wasn't good, so they decided to rearrange a little bit. They tried again. But there was still dissonance. Well, they didn't know what to do. They thought, we don't want to be rude, but seriously, if you're going to keep making noise here, we got to figure this out. So they huddled together and had a committee meeting, because that's what you do when you want to solve problems. All right, then they had a plan. One of them forgot the plan. Yeah, sometimes the plan doesn't work the first time, so you retrain. You have a little discussion, and you look meaningfully at people. Okay. And that they realized, the people of this village realized that dissonance isn't always a bad thing. It can add texture and interest. It can make things less bland. And when they discovered this, the villagers said, so now we're going to sing our kids back to their classroom after I'm sure they got all kinds of science lessons in consonance and dissonance there. See you later, alligator, after a while, crocodile. We send you out with love and a smile. Thank you for the lessons that you freely share, from the way you play to the way you care. See you later, alligator, after a while, crocodile. We send you out with love and a smile. Thank you for the lessons that you freely share, from the way you play to the way you care.
Good morning. My name is Jason Slaughter. I'm your worship associate. My pronouns are he, him. And we like to do a responsive reading. This is in your hymnals, number 668, if you want to read along, but also up there, this is Faith Cannot Save from James 2. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but do not have works? Can faith save you?
If a brother or sister is fainting and lacks daily food, and one of you says to them,
Go in peace, keep warm and eat your fill,
and yet you do not supply their daily needs, what is the good of that?
by faith, so faith by itself, if it has no work, is dead.
Show me your faith apart from your works, and I by my works will show you my faith.
And now we have a hymn, There is Love.
Will you join me now in a time of prayer and meditation? And our prayer this morning is from Reverend Michelle Collins. Spirit of community, we name the truth. There are people who make love feel impossible, who push every button we didn't know we had, who seem almost designed to test the very limits of our humanity. Our hearts contract around these relationships like fists, protecting old wounds that never quite healed. We itemize their faults, build cases for our justified anger, forget that they too were once children who needed tenderness. Grant us eyes to see past the armor to the wounds beneath. Help us recognize that cruelty is often just pain that has nowhere else to go. The hardest people to love are frequently those who most desperately need it. This does not mean accepting harm or abandoning boundaries, but may we find the fierce grace to hold both protection and compassion, remembering that even the most difficult souls are traveling their own mysterious journey toward healing. When love feels impossible, help us choose dignity anyway. When understanding fails, let kindness remain. May it be so, and amen.
These is an excerpt from Henry Nouwen from The Wounded Healer. Perhaps the main task of the minister is to prevent people from suffering for the wrong reasons. Many people suffer because of the false supposition on which they have based their lives. That supposition is that there should be no fear or loneliness, no confusion or doubt. But these sufferings can only be dealt with creatively when they are understood as wounds integral to our own human condition. Therefore, ministry is a very confrontational service. It does not allow people to live with illusions of immortality and wholeness. It keeps reminding others that they are mortal and broken, and also that with the recognition of this condition, liberation starts. Perhaps the painful awareness of loneliness is an invitation to transcend our limitations and look beyond the boundaries of our existence. The awareness of loneliness might be a gift we must protect and guard, because our loneliness reveals to us an inner emptiness that can be destructive when misunderstood, but filled with promise for those who can tolerate its sweet pain.
Years ago, as I was meditating on the theme of compassion and healing, I sat down in my favorite chair and prepared to relax. At that moment, I was stung deeply on my thumb by what we call a yellow jacket, a type of wasp. And I should note that my local University of Wisconsin mascot is the yellow jacket, so I guess I should have been prepared. It was a painful sensation and an unexpected wound in the sanctuary of my home. I went for an ice cube, which immediately soothed the pain as my thumb swelled up. A week later, my wound was barely recognizable. The healing cycle was complete. Or was it? I'm reminded that after healing, some wounds may leave a residual scar. My philosophy of healing begins with pain, grief, and loss. When something valuable is taken from us, when something dear is lost, when our bodies and spirits have been deeply wounded, it's time to seek healing. Or rather, it's time to let the delicate process of healing do its natural task of restoration. From the Tao Te Ching, quote, "Return is the motion of the Tao. Softening is its function. All things in the cosmos arise from being. Being arises from non-being," close quote. We all came from somewhere. I believe suffering, compassion, and healing are natural parts of our life cycle, and they need each other. The relationships between skin cells that are temporarily severed by a wound exhibit a longing for softening and reunion. I believe healing is part of an involuntary, holistic system. Healing can begin at the precise moment after injury, and then it takes its own time. The particular example of my yellow jacket sting provided me with an important realization. I believe that when it begins, healing can actually make things worse before they get better. Not all wounds are so easily treated. And sometimes our wounds may be the key to helping others heal. Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen, in her book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, writes, quote, "Everyone alive has suffered. It's the wisdom gained from our wounds and from our own experience of suffering that makes us able to heal." Becoming expert has turned out to be less important than remembering and trusting the wholeness in myself and everyone else. Expertise cures, but wounded people can best be healed by other wounded people. Only other wounded people can understand what is needed. For the healing of suffering is compassion, not expertise. Close quote. What we really need is someone to bear witness, not to take our suffering away from us. For years, I suffered with the pain and discomfort of a chronic condition. It had settled on me slowly so that by the time it became unbearable, I had hardly noticed the gradual changes. Eventually, I wondered if I had waited too long, suffered too much, and caused permanent damage. My doctor offered me two options. One was an outpatient procedure that would provide immediate relief, but would almost certainly guarantee that I would find myself over time in the same place of deep suffering once again. The second option was more radical. It required tests, preparations before surgery, and recovery in the hospital. This option required a month of rehabilitation and could have complications. As I considered my options, I thought about what would bring me a greater sense of healing. I decided that the best choice for me was to go for the more radical surgery. But what happened was unexpected. It turns out I overestimated the pain and fear of the surgery itself. For weeks, it was the only thing on my mind. As I counted down the days, I could think of nothing else. Once I got to the hospital, the care was so good that the 2-hour procedure was over before I knew it. It was a breeze. But I grossly underestimated the time for recovery. The pain and discomfort started slowly and built to a throbbing crescendo. I could barely walk. I couldn't drive for a month. I wasn't supposed to work. I was confined to my apartment and my neighborhood. On reflection, I learned that healing actually makes things worse before they get better. When I followed up with my doctor a month later, I felt such deep relief and gratitude. I mentioned how glad I was that I took the more radical option. I asked how his other patients faced this question. He said that most say they wish they had opted for the surgery years before they did, had they known how much better their lives could be. But for every one of them, including me, it took a crisis before accepting a healing intervention. Because of this, my doctor was careful not to overpromise the rewards of surgery. He only suggested it in cases where it was clearly indicated healing actually makes things worse before they get better. Robert Messel writes that, quote, "Cancer cells and viruses are living things within our bodies, and there is compelling evidence that some states of mind make our bodies more vulnerable to their destructive effects than others. It's not all or nothing. It's not natural versus supernatural. It is not simply a case where either our minds have no effect or they have total control. It's not a question of faith. Rather, we have a wide range of degrees to which our minds can influence living cells within the body," close quote. I believe our bodies can influence our minds and our spirits, and our spiritual lives can influence our bodies. It's not merely mind over matter, it's also matter over mind. It works both ways simultaneously. I want to promote an environment of healing by the inspirations of my spirit and by the practical care of my body. We don't have to choose one or the other. We're here together in body and spirit. Dear friends, our nation and our world is deeply wounded right now by many forms of desperation and injustice, with a strong-armed authoritarian epidemic that is raging out of control, infecting millions of the least of those among us, killing many innocents without respect or regret. And this wound touches everyone. It has been said that if only 2 to 4% of the general population resists oppression, the healing could begin. All of us need to do what we can, or our common wound will not heal. Things may have to get worse before they get better. Now, just as individuals, we carry our own wounds, so do organizations and nations. I am here to help you care for your wounds, not to take the suffering away from you, but to help locate the source of strength and gratitude that comes from healing, so that you may share your gifts of healing with each other and the world. As Dr. Remen says, only other wounded people can understand what is needed. For the healing of suffering is compassion, not expertise. Last April, we convened a pastoral care town hall and invited the congregation to discuss how to build a structure to support people undergoing stressful life challenges. As you may guess, this is a complicated and confusing subject. To begin with, there's that word pastoral, which means either related to grazing of sheep or cattle, or concerning the giving of spiritual guidance. Cattle or guidance, you decide. This is Nebraska. Now, someone at that town hall said, pastoral care to me is care from the minister, but also means care by congregational members, those in the flock helping the flock. Close quote. And I say bingo and amen. Part of a minister's job is to be available as a source of support to anyone who asks. But no minister can do everything. And when someone tries to do everything, they often end up very, very unsatisfied. Work-life balance requires communication and collaboration, working together. For the past few months, we've been holding a service of silent witness after our regular service for anyone who wants to communicate their joys, concerns, milestones, and prayer requests to the community. We've been doing it on the third Sunday of the month, and we're doing it again today. Right after this service, I hope many of you will join us. And as I say at every service of silent witness, those who don't share, who help maintain the sacred silence, are just as important as those who have something to say. Maybe they are more important to provide proof that we care about each other and are ready to listen. So far, we have not been able to put together a pastoral care committee. Maybe the problem is verbiage. People seem to be afraid of the word pastoral. So I've played around with a few alternatives. What about the caring community of the church, or the CCC? But the CCC reminds me of the Civilian Conservation Corps, a New Deal government employment program that sent city kids to work in the national forests. Any CCC veterans here? Then I wondered, how about the UCL care team? But that made me think of emergency medical technicians responding to life and death situations. So now I'm proposing the name Congregational Care Ministry, meaning compassionate people working together in an organized way to care for the congregation and its members under the guidance of the minister. Easier said than done, but somebody's got to do it. Maybe it's you. Our first meeting of the CCM, the Congregational Care Ministry, will be soon. We have to start where we are. And if any of you are interested in this work, please get in touch with me or the office. So what makes congregational care work? Positive attitudes, prayerful gratitude, and sensible routines of follow-up and prevention are part of a holistic healing system. In this case, one that is voluntary. So some healing is involuntary, Some healing is voluntary. The CCM will not force anyone to receive assistance. I believe that the natural process of healing, the stuff of our DNA, is helped along by our conscious actions, how we approach our lives, and what wisdom and relationships we take to heart. We're not looking for people who are perfect. We are looking for people who care. Dr. Remen again, quote, "Wounding and healing are not opposites. They're part of the same thing. It's our wounds that enable us to be compassionate with the wounds of others. It's our limitations that make us kind to the limitations of others. It's our loneliness that helps us to find other people or to even know they're alone with an illness. I think I have served people perfectly with parts of myself I used to be ashamed of." Close quote. Dear friends, may we meet each other honestly with both the wounds and the gifts that we have. May we not be ashamed of our wounds or be stingy with the kindness that we bring. Let us not limit others by our personal wounds, but instead find new ways of healing on the path toward building the beloved community. Blessed be, may it be so, and amen.
Thanks for being here today, everybody. I'm Judy Hart, she, her, hers, a member of the Board of Trustees, and I want to offer a special welcome to those who are visiting for the first time. If I could sing, I would sing, "We do not carry this all alone. We do it together," which I tried out on Wednesday. So we don't do it together, we do it with community members, and this is a shared community organizations and community members. This is a Share the Plate Sunday. The Unitarian Church of Lincoln Share the Plate program is a visible and tangible way for us to support our partners in the community. Every year, the congregation votes on 10 local nonprofits, and all designated offerings during this month will go to that nonprofit. This month's Share the Plate recipient is the Lincoln Indian Center. And Wathena Porter, who is the new executive director, will tell us a little bit about their work. As Wathena comes up, I just want to say that we've been working hard to deepen our relationship with the Indian Center, not only with our money, but with our time. So, and Wathena has been very, very wonderful about being our friend. And anytime there is an opportunity at the Indian Center, she sends us a note to say, this is an opportunity. So we've created a new committee in our church called the Indigenous Working Group. So you'll be hearing more about that as part of the program council. But it's a recipient for you to get more information about what's happening at the Indian Center. So Wathena's a rock star. She's going to tell us about what's happening. So welcome, Wathena Porter.
Hello, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you today. My name is Wathena Porter, and I'm the director at the Indian Center. I'm an enrolled member of the Navajo tribe and a descendant of the Omaha and Muskogee Creek Nations. This is my second time being up here and speaking about the Indian Center, and I'm very honored, and thank you for inviting me, Judy, and thank you for all your support. I've been in this position since February, but the Indian Center has been part of my life since I was a youth kid. I attended youth programming there and volunteered throughout my life, and I sat on the board as chair and vice chair, and then now I'm the executive director. So since the last time I've been here, we've had some updates with our building. We got our HVAC replaced. We got new siding on the building. And it was a very challenging summer because we had to get creative with our programming to figure out ways to serve the community and keep our programming going. So it's nice that we have our HVAC working. We expanded our elders program, so we have a second day that we serve our elders. And this one is really special because we get to really capture our traditional knowledge from our elders and figure out, ways to incorporate that into our youth programming so that our youth kids can, get to know the knowledge and have those teachings with them. And then throughout the week, we just have, support groups Sunday through Thursday. The weekends, we usually rent out the buildings to the community members. However, all of our programming is open to the community, and you're more than welcome to participate and join and ask questions if you have any. We recently had our powwow, our youth powwow, and it's the first time that I feel like the Indian Center really focused on the youth kids, and it was a much needed, powwow. It was really nice to see all the youth kids out there dancing and participating and, just filled with happiness. One of the specials that we had at the powwow was a No Regalia contest, and that was primarily focused on inviting kids who don't have the opportunity to wear regalia, or they don't have anyone in their family to sew them regalia, but they want to dance. So with that contest, we were able to come up with like a handful of like ribbon shirts and ribbon skirts, and I think there was a jingle dress that was donated from a community member. And so it was really beautiful to see them wear that throughout the time at the powwow. And, we're hoping that next year it will become an annual powwow for our youth kids. And we had a lot of sponsors that, donated towards the powwow. So we're very thankful for the continued sponsorship and donations that we received from the Indian Center. It's been an honor to be the executive director and just to see things unfold throughout my time and see it firsthand. And I'm truly, excited to see the future for the Indian Center, and we're going to continue to grow. And right now we're focusing on how we can expand our programming. We just had our elections, I believe it was last month, so we have 8 board members, and so we're excited to have them on board and just to see what happens at the Indian Center in the future. So yeah, I just want to thank each and every one of you, and Judy for inviting me back up here to speak about the Indian Center. If you have social media, you can find us on Facebook, or you can Google the Indian Center, but all of our updated events are posted on there, and you're more than welcome to join and participate in them. Thank you.
So thank you, Athena. As a reminder for this morning, any loose cash or checks made to the Unitarian Church of Lincoln with Lincoln Indian Center in the memo line will go to the center. You may also text your offering to UC Lincoln and the amount to 73256 and designate Share the Plate. That's UC Lincoln and the amount to 73256 with the designation of Share the Plate. As the, now I have to go back to this one. Oh my gosh, I've got 5 pieces of paper. So as the ushers come up and collect for the good of the church and the Indian Center, I'm going to give you a few announcements. So Jackie and Penny. So while they're doing the collection, these are a few announcements to share as our church community extends beyond the Sunday morning worship. Let's go to this page. You'll have a chance to participate in a ministerial search focus group today after service in the gathering place. We'll start at 11:30. It will take about an hour. Your voice is important. Please come by if you haven't already participated in a focus group, and there will be snacks. You may have noticed that there's a ministerial search committee has a table in the front hallway. The next date to remember is the Break Barriers, Build Beliefs workshop on Saturday, November 1st. Stop by the table to ask questions or sign up today. Picture this. Many people got their pictures taken on Wonderful Wednesday last week. You have 2 more chances this month, today and next Sunday after service, and you can get a free photo taken of yourself and your family. Individual photos will be used for a new photo directory in time for our new minister next year. There are many announcements. There's only 2 more. Don't miss the Tasty Treat Bake Sale next Sunday after the service. The funds will benefit the church auction. All right, here's the thing. We don't do any of this alone. So I want to know, and you can, wherever I wrote it, I want to know, by a show of hands, how many of you have attended a Justice in Action listening session? How many of you participated in the Stand Up Nebraska full-page ad with your donation? How many of you attended the No Kings rally yesterday? I think it's really important for us all to see that we do the work, we live our values in the community. We show up, that's our mission, and I'm just so proud of having this conversation about wounding and repair, because this is how we're doing it, right? We're taking action, so I think we need this. All right, lastly, and I do mean lastly, we have we host a newcomer chat after the service each week to answer any questions that you have about the Unitarian Church of Lincoln. So stop by the tree in the gallery, and Stephanie back there, she'll be waiting there with all the answers. So thank you all. I love being a part of this community. So, yeah.
We rise in body or spirit for our final hymn.
Neither Julie or I had ever heard that hymn, and I just want to thank you for making it very beautiful today. And thanks to everyone that went to the No Kings rally yesterday. It was an amazing experience, and I just moseyed on through and never found the UU. So I saw a million other people, and it was wonderful. Dear friends, our closing words are from Reverend Michelle Collins. Our time together ends, but compassion's work continues. May you carry forward the courage to choose kindness over convenience, remembering that your gentle choices ripple outward, healing our broken world, one encounter at a time. Go now in peace.
searching for